What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Monday afternoon so far. NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I'm going to talk about why the New York Mets have all of a sudden turned things around compared to where they were just literally about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And a lot of it can do with the fact that the pitching has started to slowly turn things around, and that the pitching is starting to really do a lot better compared to what it was before because of the fact they got Justin Verlander back and Max Scherzer is here and he's pitching a little bit better. But I'm going to talk about the New York Mets and the real reason why the New York Mets are playing a lot better. And it's simply 6 words. Brett Baty, Francisco Alvarez, Mark Vientos. Plain and simple. The New York Mets are playing better because they finally did something that this team needed to do since the beginning of the season, and they needed to bring up their kids. The kids needed to come up from the minor league, and it's no coincidence, since they've come up from the minor leagues, these players are starting to provide dividends for this New York Mets offense for the team. I mean, you look at some of the numbers. Alvarez has played in 28 games since coming up from Triple-A. He's got 20 hits overall on the season. He's got 10 runs scored overall with 11 RBIs, and he's homered 5 times. He does have a .238 batting average, but I think that's going to get better as we continue to go. Brett Baty's got 29 games played at third base. He has also batted .258. He's driven in 10 runs with 4 home runs overall, and he has 24 hits so far with the New York Mets since coming up from Triple-A. And then Mark Vientos. He's played in 3 games so far with a .182 average. He right now has 11 at-bats where he's gotten at least 3 RBIs on the season, and he's got about 1 home run, and he's recorded at least 2 hits so far. Vientos is a little bit more of a smaller size because he's only been up for a little bit. But you could tell just the energy that these 3 young players have brought to the New York Mets team and the New York Mets organization since they were called up from Triple-A. That it just seems like this team has just gotten a renewed push, and just seems like their urgency and their life. It seems like there's life breathed back into this Mets team since those 3 young players were called up from Triple-A. It's no coincidence. No coincidence at all. This team looked dead to rights. This team looked like they didn't even want to play baseball for the most part. They looked dead, unenthusiastic. They looked like they didn't care. This team looked like they just were going through the motions. And then what ended up happening? They called up Francisco Alvarez. Then they called up Brett Baty. Then they called up Mark Vientos. And there's another young player who could also be on his way, Ronnie Mauricio. But right now, between Vientos, Baty, and Alvarez, they have given this team a jolt of youth, a jolt of energy, and a jolt of enthusiasm that this baseball team needed, because they were floundering, losing games against the likes of the Colorado Rockies, against the Detroit Tigers, and against the Washington Nationals, and it looked like this team was just about to go floundering even deeper further down. Then they played against the Tampa Bay Rays, and luckily, because of the kids, because of Alvarez, Baty, and Vientos, this team was able to make a major comeback and get a big come-from-behind victory. And it started to spark guys like Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, and all the other veterans on this baseball team, because of the fact the youth has really sparked the interest and has sparked this baseball team to start to play better overall. And now this team has won 4 games in a row, 25-23. Now I know the kids aren't the only reason why this team is playing better. They're pitching better now in the starting rotation as well. But at the same time, a lot of it has to do with the fact that this team needed some type of jolt of energy from the young players, and that's exactly what they got. They got a jolt of energy from these younger players on the roster, and has really helped this team move forward going into the 2023 season. It's amazing what bringing up a couple of kids from the minor leagues can really do for an organization. This is one of the examples right here. Brett Baty, Mark Vientos, Francisco Alvarez. Maybe Ronnie Mauricio was the last one to come up. I don't know. There's been a lot of rumors that he could potentially be trade bait. But Ronnie Mauricio could be the next Mets youth Triple-A player to make it up to the major leagues. And who knows when he might be inserted into that major league lineup. And the type of impact he might make for the Mets going into the 2023 season. Either way, this is great news to hear. This Mets team is really starting to play better overall. They're starting to turn the corner. And besides the pitching, with Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer both going 5 and 8 innings of 1 and no run ball yesterday against the Guardians, the youth on this team is really starting to spark the New York Mets and is really getting this team in the position where they could make some type of run going into the middle part of the 2023 Major League Baseball season. Just wanted to talk about that real quickly in this short little video. The youth has really helped this baseball team. The youth has given this baseball team life. I know I've said it multiple times, but how can I not say it multiple times when this team needed that jolt of energy? There you go. Alvarez, Vientos, Baty. It's amazing what bringing up a couple of kids from Triple-A can really do for your lineup, can do for your team, for your clubhouse, and for your fan base. Hit that like button if you haven't already and give a sub to NYGJeffyT85. More news updates and chatter surrounding the New York Mets. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Mets. As always, if you want, hit a super thanks at the bottom. Shows your appreciation and gratitude for the video and the content creator. Thank you guys always for the support you give me. And you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about the young kids coming up from Triple-A. Brett Baty, Francisco Alvarez, and Mark Vientos. And the spark that they've given to this New York Mets team since they got called up from Triple-A, and the continued impact they can give for the New York Mets going into the stretch run of the 2023 Major League Baseball season. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Mets. As always, all you got to do is you got to believe in those boys from Queens.